It must be great to be a die-hard Charli XCX fan, especially after what's happened over the past 3 years. If you think about it, she's had an all-time pop career, going from I Love It to Fancy to Boom Clap, then dropping cult classic pop projects after another, and of course, the unforgettable peak that was Brat Summer. So great, her legacy's solidified. Where do we go from here?
I'm so excited for you to hear this album, and yeah, that's it. This is Music Fashion Film.
Charli XCX has released her 7th studio album, Music Fashion Film. While this project has a fair amount of critical acclaim, the criticisms I keep seeing for this latest release have really been bothering me for some reason. And this video is just gonna be me letting out a few quick thoughts of mine. Yes, I listened to this album and I liked it. Though I find it really unfortunate that this always is gonna carry the unfortunate label of being the next project to come right after Brat. So I'm not surprised that it's nowhere close in terms of quality. I remember that even Charli and her producers clarified that this project would attempt to be the anti-Brat. So what does that mean? Is this Charli trying to create a new movement? Was she trying to reject all the self-empowerment that came with Brat? Is she trying to alienate her fan base? And if so, did she succeed? Well, let's slow down for a bit. Music Fashion Film is not trying to outdo Brat at all. And unfortunately, I expected most people to criticize this album for not being able to live up to the standard that Brat set. Or they just really don't like the new direction she's going in with her sound. Listen, at this stage of her career with all the success, if she wants to be a rock star, I think she has all the right to do so. I don't think it hits every time. I think some highs on this album make up for it. But stop acting like it's the end of the world. But that's not even what I'm most concerned about. What I actually can't get with is how people are so harsh towards the statement this album was trying to make. Do you really think this needed to be an all-out victory lap? You think that's how Charli feels? She is currently in a come down after such a rapid and overwhelming rise to success. Imagine going through a whole ass live tour, working on tons of film projects, being the head of one of the most chaotic and influential pop culture marketing campaigns, dare I say, of all time, and creating a whole movie out of it. I mean, guys, this is the undisputed peak of her career we're talking about. She has worked her tail off, and the sky is the limit when it comes to her future. Do you think there wouldn't be some wariness and angst inside of her? I feel like if you're going to sit down and fairly criticize this album, you cannot dismiss the emotional weight she set for herself here. And I'll make this really clear. When it comes to songwriting and narrative, of course we saw better from her. There's Brat, there's How I'm Feeling Now, there's Pop 2, there's Charli. They're all way better projects, but I don't think it means Music Fashion Film doesn't deserve to have a place in her discography. I will say though, everyone including me had a tough time adjusting their ears when all the singles came out. It was a very confusing rollout to say the least. If you were to ask me for opinions, I think rock music works better as an opener rather than a standalone song, but it's fine. I think Wink Wink actually aged worse for me. I felt like it was the least impactful song in the tracklist. But then you have SS26 and Camera, which are both much needed statement releases. They did a great job of tapping into peak Charli vulnerability, and they're both essential parts for the album's progression and how it sends its message. All this is to say that the rush of euphoria that usually comes with Charli's music is not really that present here. The songs rather beat to their own drum, and Charli willingly chooses to restrain and reflect on what's left of her artistic identity. I think this approach is interesting when you look at how production choices and songwriting reflect it, but does that make it enjoyable? I mean, take rock music for example, I don't think it's one of her best openers. However, the Dance Floor's Deadline is interesting. It was bound to rub people the wrong way. This isn't Charli fully erasing a movement she helped grow and everything it stood for. I don't think Charli actually thinks lowly of it. It's clearly a satire. It doesn't take a genius to see the dance floor isn't dead right now. There's Slater, Tiffany Day, underscores, Kim Petras, Pedal Bite, shout out. The dance floor is in good hands. Charli's just moving in a new direction. As a reflection of her future, she's not gonna drag this out and keep making the same music. She's in fact questioning her place in the genre, like she's questioning if the fans were willing to accept the new ventures that Charli's exploring, or if they just came to jump on another bandwagon. If you personally did the latter, then sucks to be you, don't listen to the rest of the album, cause it completely destabilizes what we've grown accustomed to from Charli. To a lot of people, these songs all sound super rough and unfinished. However, and I swear I'm not trying to sound too pretentious, but I think many people are having a tough time seeing the full picture and are not entirely understanding how some of these songs work. There's 3 in particular that capture my attention because they're over-criticized to hell. Card Declined is overloaded with jumbled guitars, and it makes us feel a moment of the devouring materialistic lifestyle that Charli's had over her career that she's now seemingly critiquing. It's trying to be a sonic depiction of reckless shopping and living fast, which Charli clearly has insecurities about here. I think there's a sense of anxiety in the instrumental that wouldn't be felt if it was over-polished like a Brat song. Yes, there was anxiety on that album, but over here, it's more raw, and that anxiety is what makes Card Declined what it is. There's I'm Afraid, which is a more straightforward post-grunge cut, where Charli's scared that her desire for music is getting in the way of her marriage. Damn, I'm so big, but my husband's over here missing my childbirth. This sucks. You can hate how the chorus sounds like a weird exorcism. I honestly really don't mind it. I still think it's genuine. I think it sounds dreadful and heavy. She has these thoughts of justifying these incredibly selfish desires to be this big-time artist who creates her best work through her own forbidden pain. In a way, yeah, this song does kinda deserve to sound ugly. And you're right there with Charli as it happens. And lastly, I'm going to play devil's advocate and defend this seemingly insignificant song that people trash for being maddeningly repetitive and filler-coded, with the laziest written lyrics and most monotone, flat, low-effort Charli vocal performance known to man. Which I guess I totally understand, unless I knew that all of those qualities are similar to playing a yes woman, which is what Charli's pretty much doing, so in that case, I low-key like it. She has conflicting feelings of resisting and giving in to desires and sounding like a clueless robot when she loops her words. Also, I feel like the beat is doing some heavy lifting for that aesthetic. I simply understand that soullessness is part of one giant layer of meta commentary. Charli is exposing and deconstructing herself. It feels abrupt and uncomfortable, but after having the whole world in your hands and millions of eyes on you, why wouldn't you be? Moving forward after being on top for such a well-extended period of time is going to feel scary. So Charli uses this album to look at herself in the mirror and reflect on the nearing end of her peak. And so a lot of this album feels really sentimental. You see it in Camera, you see it in SS26, you see it in 2007, a song taking place around the time she started to find her initial passion to become an artist. Persona can be interpreted as Charli confronting and criticizing the braggadocious parts of her former self. She takes the time to have a toast for A.G. Cook on Magic Metal Montana, her longtime producer and best friend, and then No One Lasts Forever goes out and ends everything. Instead of sounding the death knell for the industry, it's Charli letting go of the firm grasp she's had on it for years. And David Cronenberg, looped voice note and all, sticks it to you perfectly. Some artists have created art that has really survived thousands of years, and that's fantastic. But experientially, for them, they are dead, they are gone, they are not experiencing that. No one lasts forever. There was a moment in time where Charli still felt invincible, but Music Fashion Film confirms that it has completely passed. This is the last document of her prime, which is fading faster than we'd like. And we all loved it, and it's something that will sit with us, and especially Charli, for a long time knowing that she'll never be the same. Music, fashion, film can be so many things to you. I know that it's polarizing as hell, and we can debate it further in the comments. Me personally, I thought it was a pretty rock solid Charli XCX project. I'd like to know what you found interesting about it, whether you loved it or you hated it. I just hope this video helped so that when you give it another chance or listen to it for the first time, you can see it for what it is. Thank you all for sticking around. If you're new here, join the Discord server. We're now on the long road to 200 members. Subscribe, leave a like, comment, share. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.